right, man. So something that has kind of been going on or irking me over the years in my personal fishing, and that's so obviously we got the 5-inch Sakamata. I've talked about this. I throw the 5 and the 8-inch mostly in the heavyweight formula because I like to rig them weedless. This is not, you know, most guys, this is a really popular live scope bait for hover strolling and stuff. That's not really what I do. I don't have electronics, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. It's just a great fluke. The heavyweight version, you know, when you throw it, it hits the water. It has that shimmy fall that the strolling guy that you're getting when you're strolling it anyways by shaking your rod tip to get that to bounce back and forth. The heavyweight, just with these wings, just inherently has that horizontal shimmy fall as it falls through the column. Super deadly, just the same way that Senko has that shimmy, horizontal shimmy fall. In principle, I'm thinking when I'm fishing this or the 8-inch version, I'm thinking I'm just fishing a Senko, man, just letting it fall down, twitch, letting it fall down, fishing slow, methodical, and it gets annihilated. One of my all-time go-to soft plastics of all time, love the Sakamata shad, the heavyweight. So I made an old video about that, no big deal. This is different though, because what I've been doing is, so I've had, the hooks that I've been using are the Gamakatsu G Finesse hooks. So they have that nano coat. They're not a thick gauge wire. I like that. It's great. You know, the 5-inch I fish on a medium heavy spinning rod. It's like a power spin. Plenty of power. You know, I'm using like braid to leader, 12-pound leader. That's what I'm always doing on that setup. So, you know, 12-pound line, I can yank on fish really hard with 12-pound. I can wrench my drag down pretty decent if I feel like if I feel compelled to do so. I've never bent these hooks out. The 8-inch Sakamatas, I just throw on the 8/0 version of this hook. This is the 4/0 version that I match up with the 5-inch Sakamata, right? The 8-inch or the 8/0 hook, you know, man, I'm throwing that on like a heavy setup, like 25-pound braid. You know, it's the same setup I drag big worm, a giant free rig, all that stuff, a jig, and I've never bent those hooks out. So, and I you know, that I've got my drag all the way down, no give, pulling as hard as I can. So I love these hooks. It's not that I don't love these hooks, but the thing that I've noticed is that the super curvatureness of the hook at the top, it's got this nice curve deal. It's just all very curved in this arena. So when you line it up with your Sakamatas, the curvature of that hook, wherever you penetrate it, I noticed that making bomb casts, getting stuck in grass, that kind of thing, when it hits the water, if I make a long cast or I'm pulling it through grass, the curvature naturally of the hook kind of catches the plastic and wants to push that hook point up out of the plastic, even though I have it exposed. So that's just something, it's been happening for years. I've been dealing with it. And finally I was like, you know, there's gotta be a better hook option out there that maybe minimizes that. And that's just all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to dial in a little more, you know, the rigging of a bait or baits, the two that I use so much in my fishing. So naturally, you know, just get on Tackle Warehouse, start looking at hooks and stuff. And it first started, I remember seeing these hooks, right? These are the Trapper Tackle, and they're very gimmicky looking, you know? These hooks are very, very much gimmicky looking hooks. I've never tried them. You can tell that the gimmick didn't quite work out. They are 63 cents each per pack on Tackle Warehouse, no matter what size you get. I picked a couple up just because they were so cheap. There's a lighter wire version and a heavier wire version. So take a look at that hook. It's just, I don't know. It looks cool, like it would keep everything nice and pinned in the way you'd want it, but I worry about all this getting in the way of setting the hook. Like, just that hook point is so close to this bend, and you know, if you read the comments, you know, it's the comments on any tackle warehouse product, I've noticed half the comments are best thing I've ever used, super excited that these are dirt cheap or whatever, or worst gimmick piece of crap ever, never use these. So I bought a couple packages. We're not starting here. I thought if worst comes to worst, I have two options that I got that I want to try that I think made sense, or more sense than that. And well, if these don't work, then maybe I'll try those. You know, they were 63 cents, whatever. Cost me, you know, $1.20 to get both of them, both those packages. So no big deal. So we got the Mustad Assault hook, and I like this hook because it's, see, basically you'll see the trend of this 90-degree angle. So I want it to just to expose into the Sakamata shad and not have a bend up here that's gonna wanna kind of propel that hook point out and like get it out if I'm dragging through grass, or you know, it's hitting the water and like just catching that. Same thing here. This is the Texposer wide gap hook. You can see that 90-degree bend, same deal. This is a little bit thicker wire than the Mustad. The Mustad definitely has that nano coat. I'm pretty sure that the Gamakatsu G Finesse hooks that I love so much have. So I'm kind of leaning towards this guy. We're gonna try both. We're gonna explore both options. You know, this is definitely a little thicker. The only thing, compensation, like I said, I might tighten my drag a little more when using this hook because it's a thicker gauge wire to really make sure I'm getting good penetration and stuff. Whereas this is more of a finesse option like the G Finesse. So that's what I'm doing, man. And I bought a couple different hooks for the 8-inch and like 7-inch size flukes that I throw. We're moving out of, we're basically in the middle of, we're basically in summertime down here in Florida. It's already heated up. We haven't gotten any rain. Fishing's been absolutely miserable. Not super windy days, so you know, to get bit, it's all finesse. And as I move into summertime, I'm only really throwing conventional stuff. I'll pick and choose some days here and there to throw bigger baits and stuff, but they're just not that effective in the summertime. It's just so hot and miserable. So we're really gonna focus on the 5-inch Sakamata with these hooks and just start messing around, fishing a lot of the different Orlando lakes that I like to fish. You know, we got plenty of grass lakes to just, you know, sink these out over eelgrass and hydrilla, twitch them. Perfect fluke fishing scenarios. So there you go. That's what we're doing. It's probably going to be a long video across a few weeks or months, depending on, you know, really just, the only thing is I need to use both these hooks and get plenty of bites and fish for plenty of time with each and get a good representative sample of what's going to happen. So that's what this video is about. Oh man, just for full start, we got the Mustad Assault hook. It's, you know, it's pretty cool. It's got that nano coat, like I said, the 90-degree distinct bend at the top. It's got the fused bit, which I always like. That just, man, sometimes your line gets caught in that little part and gets dinged up and stuff. If you were fishing straight braid, I've had it completely slip off the hook completely. So I just like that little, that they just close that gap with a little bit of wax. Just love that. Just a nice little detail with a hook. So here we go. This is the first initial rigging with a different hook than I've been using. So I'm gonna go almost to that bend, pop her out like normal, work her around. We're gonna bury that. That nose is completely buried in there. So it's just the line coming out. I like that. So grass isn't kind of really gumming up on the deal. Ooh, and we're coming all the way back to the end to get to that 90. So there's little notches. You can see these little dots. We're coming basically the last dot to go to make sure that I'm getting it nice, a flat sit, you know, a nice flat setting deal. Do this without screwing it up. Here we go. Came out pretty center. Not the most center, but close enough. And it, dude, it looks like it sits lovely, just like that. You know, like if you did this with the EWG, it would, the curvature of that hook, like I said, would kind of pop that bait down and push the hook up because of that top bend. But this, if we expose this, donk, like so, maybe not as much, just a little. I think the gist is that will stay pretty much like that, even if you're popping it, getting a little hung through grass and popping it, or if you're making a long cast and the bait's hitting the water, it's not gonna like kind of force that hook up. So that's the whole point of this, what we're doing. Here we go. All right, next aspect. I don't know that we're gonna get this on camera that great. The water's pretty clear, but the action of the bait matters. Like what led me to the Gamakatsu G finesse hook was that it really maintained that horizontal posture, shimmy, fall. So the first hook I tried didn't do that. And I remember, oh, look at that. There's a big ass ball of bait right here. Holy shit, look at that. Definitely had some fish spawning. There's a tilapia hole right in front of us. So God knows this could be a ton of little baby bass. Who knows? Any number of things those could be. All right, we're getting distracted. Let's see if we can drop this in right here and see it's got that horizontal shimmy fall. It might be difficult to tell with my shitty GoPro camera. Let's get right over this hole. All right, dude. So my bait falls, lands in the water. It kind of did a little twirl, but now it's doing that nice shimmy fall. So I think action-wise, the mustad is so far so good. There we go. Oh no! Dude, first bite, I waited too long. Alright, we had the hook pop out. I don't know what I was doing. That fish was nibbling at it, man. The bite has been so tough lately, dude. How are you just gonna freaking nibble at it like that, man? Damn it. I'm gonna do a little drag tightening just to give a little more force for that hook to come out. There we go. There it is. There we go. I didn't think we'd get a second chance, but we got it. There we go. That's a decent one. Again, man, these fish, they're in deeper grass. I mean, they're nibbling at it as if they're still on beds, and I can't imagine that's what's going on, but I don't know. Just the way the bite has been for the past like month or so, man. They're just very non-committal. Get a lot of nips, especially fishing soft plastics. The water's so low, that's the only reason I think it's a possibility, because I think these fish could be out on this deeper grass edge. Oh, the water's super low. We got a ton of tilapia in this lake. Good God, dude, that's a decent one. Oh my God. He just jammed me in a bunch of grass. Come on out of there. Oh, shoot. Good God. Come on, baby. Come on. Oh, here we go. We got you free of the grass. There we go. There we go. Come on up. Come on up. That's a nice one. That's a good test run for our first bite or second bite on this hook. We yanked on this fish hard, pulled it out of a bunch of hydrilla it had us jammed up in. Let's see how this mustad looks at this point. And it's a nice one, dude. And it's a nice one, dude. Look at that, right in the side of the kisser. Dude, had it, ooh, that just dropped right out, man. We got lucky. All right, dude. All right, I'll take a look at this mustad hook right after we get this guy measured real quick. All right. Dude, we're 19.5 inches. We're gonna go 13. All right, dude, that's a beauty. Great first test run. That's a very long fish, man. Still really thick, but super duper long. Excelente. Get her going. There she goes. Hell yeah, dude. All right, man. We tugged on that guy. I wrenched the drag down a little more after that first miss, and we really jammed it home. I would say we didn't even get a crazy penetration in that fish. It was in the real gummy part of the side of its mouth, and the hook popped right out. You know, whatever, things happen. I'm not going to look too deeply into that. The hook itself, no bendiness. It's all exactly as it was. So we're still good to go with that. Feeling good about that. You know, that nano coat wire on hooks, it makes the hooks, it's like they're able to make thinner wire hooks, but they're just as strong as thick gauge hooks. I just like those hooks, man. So really digging this. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Come on out of there. Oh, shoot. Oh, guy. Oh, man, that's crazy. Look at that. Oh, we got. This is not good. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Look at that, dude. That is quite random. If that isn't, if that's not a bonus for the old Mustad assault hook, you can get a little bluegill on it. Oh, shoot, not a bluegill, but a red-bellied sunfish, something like that. I'm always terrible with the panfish. Damn, I thought I had something there for a sec. Oh, there we go. That felt like a bite. Does he have it? There we go. There we go. That was a bite. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's a decent one. Hell yeah, man. All right, dude. Good God. This guy's got some acrobatics. He's pissed. Oh no! Dude! I never had him. I never really set the hook. Man, who knew switching hooks was gonna be such a freaking thing? We're still messing around with the Mustad. I like this hook. I think it's the hook. The other one that I'm gonna start messing with is just such a thick gauge wire. The next step though with this, I have the 4/0 is to try a 3 or a 2/0 with the 5-inch sakamatas. I just think this might still be a little too big, but that was probably on me. I didn't really set the hook that well. Wasn't sure I was getting bit. You know, stuff happens. I'm gonna give that, you know, I'm not gonna blame the hook on that deal, but I can't believe I didn't get a hook in that fish first. I mean, that fish was pulling, dude. Damn it. Yeah.
The shit that you do requires what you have. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, that changed my perspective. So it was cool.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that was good, man. That was fun.
There we go.
I was gonna be. Oh, we got one.
I got one, guy. I'm talking on the phone and I got one. Little guy. Oh. He's a little guy. All right.
What lake is this guy on?
Hang on. All right, little guy. I'll drop that guy back in. Boop. There we go. There's another one. Another little guy. All right. There it is. Look at that. We got him hooked beautifully right through the snoot. And the bite, a lot of bites have been like this where the fluke just ends up kind of up the line. I haven't been burning through flukes, so like I haven't been tearing through flukes as far as, you know, the eye and stuff, really ripping up that nose. So I'm really digging this hook. We get the 4/0 Mustad Assault. It's been working pretty damn well, man. Pretty damn well so far. I've missed a few, but probably my fault. There we go. There's another one. right, another little guy. All right, man, just when you think you got it figured out, I was at the tackle shop and found these hooks. It's a Jackal hook, the Scythe. And same deal as the hooks I've been using, those Mustad. You know, it's got that 90-degree bend, really nice, that I wanted to see. And it's a lot finessier wire hook than those. So we have a 4/0 version, and man, it was just too good to pass up. I was like, this is the more finessey wire, like the G-Finesse hooks that I was using, so I can kind of keep my drag a little looser. You know, I was tightening my drag up with those Mustads to really make sure I was getting penetration. But this is going to be more fishing like, you know, like with the G-Finesse that I was used to. And so we got a 4/0. I haven't rigged one up yet. We're gonna rig it up. You know, naturally we got to drop it over the side and make sure that the Sakamata still has that nice, you know, vertical, you know, completely horizontal posture shimmy fall that it's supposed to have. Because sometimes maybe this hook might not be heavy enough, you know, who knows. But I like that it's just a little thinner wire. It just matches up. This bait's a pretty thin bait, you know. It's not a super thick bait. You know, you're rigging through this nose area that's pretty narrow to begin with. So, and I didn't really have any issues with the Mustad in that respect. It didn't blow the bait out or the nose out a lot, so it was fine. But this hook's a little smaller than that too. It's just not quite as long. I kind of like that. It's not too much hook for the bait, because I was going to downsize from the 4/0 to the 3/0 Mustads if that was going to become my hook of choice. So there we go, man. We got that nice and rigged up, dude. Right like that, man. Just got it weedless. It kind of fits the bait perfectly, that 4/0 size. So probably not going to be able to see much, but it's got that shimmy fall, man. That vertical, or that, I'm sorry, that horizontal posture shimmy fall. It'll kind of right itself as you twitch it along. It's got the magic. This might be the new hook. I was pretty sure I found the new hook, but once I saw these, man, I was like, oh, that might be the one. That's the perfect one right there. So we'll see how it goes catching fish with it. Ooh, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right, first fish, new hook. We got him pinned, baby. We got him hammered in there. Here we go. There we go. I may have let him have it just a little too long. And dig it out. Super finessey wire hook, man. So that was easy to dig out. Even though we hooked him pretty deep, it didn't do really any damage. That's nice. Always a good thing, you know. You're gonna gut hook them sometimes. It's never foolproof. There we go, man. I think, dude, just when I laid eyes on this hook, I thought that's definitely the one. It's just exactly what I'm looking for, man. The finessey wire with that 90-degree bend. And it's just a nice, that 4/0 size fits this 5-inch Sakamata just freaking beautifully, man. Perfectly. Ooh, there we go. There we go. That feels pretty good. Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, yeah, guy. Heck yeah. I'm gonna pull on this fish. Really give this hook a test drive. You know, it's one of those nano-coated hooks, and they're as light wire as it may seem. They're very strong. I've never had issues with them as far as bending out on a fish or anything, and I yank on them pretty hard. We got 12-pound test going on. Here we go. That hook, perfectly fine, dude. Pin in the side of the mouth, dude. I mean, good God, dude, it pins them. Here you go. We yanked on it. Looks just like it came out of the package. It's a good thing. Decent little bass. Hell yeah, man. Getting a good little test run here. Definitely think this is the deal. I think I found my hook, man.